J&R Lamb Studios were founded in 1857 by Joseph and Richard Lamb, people who immigrated from England. It is the oldest continuously operating stained glass studio in the United States. Last year, we celebrated our 150th anniversary at the Library of Congress, which has acquired the archives of the studio, which consists of 19 order books and over 2,400 watercolor prints of stained glass windows and architectural drawings. When the studio first began in the late 1800s, they were some of the major contributors to the decoration of churches in the United States. And as the turn of the century approached, the new type of stained glass was developed called opalescent stained glass windows. And Lamb Studios and John Lafarge and Louis Comfort Tiffany and others in that field were the forerunners of this new development of opalescent stained glass windows, which were developed here in America. As the century went into the 20th century, we found that this type of glass fell out of favor, and by the early 1920s, this type of work was no longer being done. And antique painted single layered stained glass windows were now the most popular type of work being done, which was the typical work done in the 1800s and prior centuries. The Lamb Studios was not only involved just in stained glass, but in decorating entire interiors of churches. They did mosaic work, they did woodwork, lighting fixtures, the design of chancels and pulpits and lecterns and pews. And as that developed over the early 20th century, more and more churches were being built, and Lamb Studios became more in the forefront of developing the ecclesiastical fabric of the United States religious community. As we approached the 1950s and 1960s, we saw an increase in stained glass because of the wars, and more people were donating stained glass windows to churches in memory of lost ones during those terrible wars. In the 1960s and 1970s, we started to see a decline in new stained glass windows. And as America got older, the stained glass windows that were made at the end of the 1800s and early 1900s started to fall in disrepair, to the point where today, most of our work, I would say approximately 75% of our work, is now in the restoration of stained glass windows. And new stained glass is produced in less quantity because of the decline in church and synagogue building in the United States. The restoration of stained glass windows is a new industry. It is something that everyone is learning about new. And we at Lamb Studios are at the forefront of that new development in stained glass industry. Along with the restoration of the stained glass is the protective covering of these stained glass windows, which to our knowledge from past years was never vented, and we definitely invent all of our protective coverings, whether it be plexiglass or plate glass or laminated safety glass. This is an extremely important aspect to the preservation of the lead on the stained glass window, so that there's a proper airflow and heat does not get trapped in that airspace, which can cause corrosion of the lead cames. For now, this is where we are with our major work, and we are working throughout the United States doing this type of work, and are available for free consultations to evaluate stained glass windows and give our expert advice as to what needs to be done for your windows.
Hi, I'm Donna Samick, and I'm one of the owners at Lamb Studios, with my co-owner with my husband Donald Samick. I was commissioned to do the side window which faced the street of the building. And the side of the building was like this.